Hello everybody on the internet. So recently, Mortal Kombat 2 rounded up its new cast. Firstly, I should say, I'm not a big Mortal Kombat fan. I do like it though. I know all the characters, some of the characters are really awesome. I know a decent amount of the lore, but I don't go and play the games though, I don't go and buy them. I mainly just like to watch Mortal Kombat. I've watched the most recent games, and I liked the first movie. I actually thought it was pretty awesome.
Get over here!
I never get tired of that. And it was an Australian-made movie, and yet again, the second one's going to be made in Australia. And I get so excited when movies get made in Australia. It's just close to home for me. And as much as I like the first Mortal Kombat movie, it's not a perfect movie. There are things that it could have done better. But the sequel has so much potential, and a lot that it can actually correct. One of the biggest reasons I think this movie is going to be better than the first is because it's being written by Jeremy Slater. He previously said that they're taking on the feedback of what people liked and disliked about the first one, and they're going to make it bigger and bloodier. And if he really is taking on the feedback, then I think the biggest thing, the most important thing this movie has to do is retcon the Arcana aspect from the first movie. Even though I'm not a big Mortal Kombat fan, I did find the Arcana in the first movie to be a bit stupid, a bit random, and too different from the games. Like, honestly, why couldn't Kano just have a cybernetic eye? Why did he have to have the power to shoot a laser from his eye? And also, Jax's Arcana was making his metal arms bigger. Before he lost his arms, what would his Arcana have been? It's very convenient. And I still don't really understand what Cole Young's power is. So I'm absolutely positive that all fans would not care and would be happy if they retcon the Arcana aspect. Just give them the abilities, the methods that they have from the games. They can still continue the story of the first movie by retconning that. Something that the first movie did really well was the casting, and also the characters' costumes. I thought they were really good, for a low budget movie especially. And most of the cast from the first one are returning. Jessica McNamee as Sonya Blade. I thought she was perfect in that role. Tadanobu Asano as Raiden. I think he needs more screen time. Mehcad Brooks as Jax. He was good. Ludi Lin as Liu Kang. He was also perfect. Chin Han as Shang Tsung. He really looks like Shang Tsung. Hiroyuki Sanada as Scorpion was absolutely perfect. He gave the best performance in that movie. And surprisingly, Max Hyung as Kung Lao is returning. He died. So maybe they're going to do what Mortal Kombat X did and have some characters come back as revenants. What adds to that speculation is Joe Taslim returning as Bihan. He has got to become Noob Saibot. And Josh Lawson as Kano's returning. So yeah, he must be coming back as a revenant as well. And hopefully they give him the cybernetic eye this time. And Kano was one of the best things about the first movie. He was so freaking funny. Louis Tan as Cole Young. Honestly, I did not have a problem with Cole Young in that movie. I didn't mind that he was the lead, the window for the audience into this world. Introducing a new character in the movie is not really any different to introducing a new character in the game. I did like Cole Young. He's just not as good as the classic MK characters, of course. And apparently Johnny Cage is going to be the lead of the movie. Now, they're not just gonna throw Cole Young aside or disregard him and murder him straight away. I do not see that happening at all. I know not many people liked him, but he was the lead of the first movie. They can't just disregard everything from the first movie. That will not allow for any kind of consistency or coherency. Just won't allow the story to be as good. I think Cole should stick around, but having someone else be the lead is okay. Cole and a lot of the other characters can be co-leads because it's such a big ensemble. Also, Louis Tan is very passionate about Mortal Kombat and this character, so I really doubt that Simon McCoy would want to get rid of him. And the new cast, of course, is Karl Urban as Johnny Cage. Now, that was not the choice that anyone would have expected, but I actually like it. Sometimes doing unexpected things is good, and Karl is a good actor. And Martin Ford as Shao Kahn. It's great that they've casted someone so massive as Shao Kahn because he needs to be that massive villain. And Adeline Rudolph as Katana. She looks perfect. Tati Gabriel as Jade. I don't know much about that character. Desmond Cheam as King Jared, I have never ever heard of that character, so I have no thoughts there. Anathu Nagian as Sindel. I'm glad they're including Sindel. And Damon Herriman as Quan Chi. I'm kind of surprised they're including Quan Chi since they already have Shang Tsung and Shao Kahn. How many villains are they having? So, this is definitely a big cast. And with this many characters and a lot of story potential here, this movie needs to have a longer runtime. The first movie was a little bit under 2 hours. I really hope that this movie goes for 2 hours and 10 minutes or more than that, because I think it's really going to need that time. A lot of characters here need attention and screen time and depth. A lot of characters in the first one were just expendable. I mean, in a Mortal Kombat movie where fatalities are performed, you need that with some characters. But some characters like Kung Lao just felt a little bit wasted. And with this bigger cast and filming on the Gold Coast, this movie obviously has a bigger budget. When the first movie was coming out, they were saying that if they get to do a trilogy of Mortal Kombat movies, the first one would be pre-tournament, the second one would be the tournament, and then the third one would be post the tournament. So with this movie being the tournament and this big cast including Shao Kahn, the stakes of this story have high potential. And with Johnny Cage being in this movie, one thing they absolutely need to do is develop he and Sonya's relationship. And then in a possible third movie, they could probably go the route of Mortal Kombat X and introduce Cassie Cage. There would need to be a big time jump for that, of course, but... And I really hope that eventually they introduce Kuei Liang Sub-Zero, because he is my favourite Mortal Kombat character. And it would work, especially since Bi-Han is presumably becoming Noob Saibot now. They need to introduce his brother. I'm glad that video game movies are being taken more seriously now. Uncharted, The Last of Us, and the Super Mario Bros. Movie, they're all doing wonders for these kind of movies. So if they just stay more true to the games in this movie, and since COVID isn't as big of an issue now as it was back in 2021, I think this movie will be more successful. So, what do you think of the Mortal Kombat 2 casting news? Are you excited for the movie? What do you hope for? What are your concerns about it? What did you think of the first movie? Let me know in the comments below, and may the Force be with you.